And so tell me why you support the TMT project.
For science. I mean, the more we learn about the universe, the better. I want to know.
So what do you say to the other side of the street that says desecration of the mountain?
I can understand their side. I understand the history of the Hawaiians, getting messed over by the U.S. government and stuff like that. But, the TMT project has been through the ringer as far as being, for the permits and making sure that, it's not going to desecrate the mountain. Since it's been through the court system the second time now, it's been gone over with a fine-tooth comb. So everybody knows that, everybody's eyes are going to be on the project, and they're going to make sure that nothing is going to be wrong. So I don't think it's so much about desecrating the mountain for them as it is just a scapegoat for all of the other problems that they have.
What are the other problems that they have?
Well, I mean, there's the sovereignty movement. They would like to have sovereignty to become, separate from the United States. I don't see that the...
Right, so you're painting yourself into a corner there, as far as I can see.
No.
Because you're talking about it being gone through the legal ringer. However,
Right.
you realize that the law is U.S. law,
Right.
not self-determination of
Right.
Hawaiian Kingdom law.
Well, my point there was that that it's not going to do any of the bad things to the mountain that they're claiming. Like right now, there's a rumor going around that the telescope is going to be nuclear powered, and that they're going to drill 800 feet down into an aquifer in order to run the nuclear waste down into the aquifer in order to cool the mirrors on the telescope, which is totally not true. I mean, that's not even how a nuclear reactor works. But I mean, there are lies like that are being spread, and there are people who are believing these lies. And just a basic understanding of how electricity works would put that to rest. But
Terry Johnson, have you researched the project? Aren't there alternatives? Why do they need to build it there? Considering the cultural sensitivity.
There was
legal in Hawaii.
Right. There was alternate sites when they were seeking out the site where they're going to build it. Some of the sites were in Chile, some of them were in Mexico, India, and the Canary Islands. They narrowed it down to the Canary Islands and Mauna Kea. The Chile ones were in the southern hemisphere, and they're already building, or have built, I think, or it might almost be done, a telescope that's very similar in Chile. And so in order to get coverage of both the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, it made more sense to put this telescope somewhere in the northern hemisphere so that they can cover the entire sky. And down to the two options of the Canary Islands or Mauna Kea, they chose Mauna Kea because, for one, Mauna Kea is higher. The site at the Canary Islands is only about half as high as the one at Mauna Kea. And the higher you can get a telescope, the less atmosphere it has to look through, and therefore the sharper the images, because the atmosphere distorts the light from the stars as it comes through the atmosphere. It makes it like shaky, and so the higher you can get a telescope, the more crisp the...
We realize that, and in fact that leads to my next question. Why isn't a satellite telescope being invested in?
Because the cost of launching that into space, I think the figure is like $1.5 million per pound in order to launch this kind of stuff into space. And so, they want the biggest mirror on the telescope that you can get in order to gather as much light as possible. The more light you can gather, the more you can magnify the image, and the sharper the image becomes. So that's why they're making the primary mirror so large, 30 meters across.
But it has to work through the atmosphere. If it was out in space, it wouldn't have to be that big to get the same scope.
That's sort of true, but even something as big as the Hubble telescope, I mean, that costs a lot of money to launch into space too. So it's much easier to build and operate on the ground. I mean, yeah, if we could put the TMT telescope in space, that would be even better.
And so, what's the purpose anyway? Why is it needed?
Well, this is going to be one of the biggest telescopes ever built, and it's going to be able to see basically like all the way to the edge of the visible universe. Sorry?
How does that help us here on Earth?
Well, it helps us discover things. When you seek out to discover things, you don't know what you're going to discover until you do it. So there's going to be things that are going to be discovered that we can't even fathom of what we might discover. Who knows, we might get a better understanding of dark energy or dark matter, and maybe that could lead to scientific developments like anti-gravity, flying cars, time travel, who knows? But it's just a better understanding of how the universe works that will be to our advantage to be able to, not only know this for ourselves, I want to know, that's what I said at the beginning, but we could also, discover new technology that we could use in the future. Okay. Aloha.